Beat. It's Thomas Lawrence. I'm TJ Holmes. Today we're talking Prep Football Media Poll Week 9, second to last media poll left this season. Playoff points, the first edition of the playoff points were released on Sunday. Paradise is unanimous number one again after sharing first place votes with Enterprise and Chico last week. They beat Shasta by 53 last week. Enterprise moved up from number 3 to number 2 after Chico lost. And Enterprise, even though they lost to Sutter, who was number 1 D2, 34-27, they're at that spot. But you kind of see this Division I race kind of get sorted out by all the head-to-heads.
Yeah, it's gotten really convoluted. And Enterprise lost to a lower division team, sure, but I think a team in Sutter, undefeated now in Division II, a team that has a lot of respect, so Enterprise moves up to that 2 spot. And Chico, who had the most first-place votes last week, even though they were down in second, fell to Foothill by 2 scores. That pushed them down to the number 4 spot. And Shasta had a really rough week at Paradise, probably one of the roughest weeks in recent memory for that program, losing 56-3. But it was kind of expected that would be a rough night for them, so they stay in that number 5 spot where they've been all season long.
Yeah, the Division I didn't really have a whole lot of surprises with the playoff points coming out, and then kind of seeing how everyone's beating everyone else in Division I at the top. So that kind of sorted itself out by now, which we kind of figured was going to happen. And this is week 9 coming up, so we kind of figured that's where it was going. But the biggest change was in D2, where Central Valley jumped up from number 3 to number 2 ahead of West Valley, which they beat 3 weeks ago. But CV finally overtook West Valley. It took them 3 weeks later to actually grab that number 2 spot.
And I think something that really weighed heavily in the voters' minds was the release of the Northern Section playoff points this week. And that's something that really displayed Central Valley's amazingly strong strength of schedule, especially for a Division II team. Put them in that number 2 spot above West Valley. So probably already something on the voters' minds, that head-to-head, well, Central Valley beat them by 24 points. But that playoff points, which is really what matters when it comes down to it, I think played a huge, huge part in voters' minds this week.
Yeah, looking through some of the other divisions, we'll kind of glance over them. Pierce is number 1 in Division 3. Portola's number 1 in Division 4. They've been number 1 in D4 all season long. Then you look at 8-man football in Division 6. Reading Christian lost 2 first-place votes to Dunsmuir, even though both those teams are 9-0. And Reading Christian beat Hayfork on the road 55-0 last week. They still lost 2 first-place votes to Dunsmuir, but those two play this week to be able to, kind of decide who's going to have that number 1 seed in Division 6 and 8-man.
It's a big one.
Yeah, so check out more on prepbeat.com for everything regarding high school sports.